Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today we're taking a step beyond the usual textbook approach.
Yeah, definitely.
We're moving past those vocabulary lists, the grammar drills, and really plunging into something hopefully transformative.
That's the goal.
Mastering English not just as like a school subject, but as something you actually use in your life.
Exactly right. The source material we've got today, it doesn't really focus on syntax or complex grammar rules.
Mm-hmm.
It's more about the mindset, the psychology, and crucially, the daily habits you need for real language acquisition.
Okay.
It makes this really compelling case that learning English is fundamentally about opening doors.
Opening doors. And not just like metaphorically, right? We're talking actual tangible benefits here.
Absolutely. The sources really hammer this home. Fluency creates chances for better jobs, definitely.
Yeah, I can see that.
It lets you travel and connect without, fumbling with translation apps all the time.
That'd be nice.
Make friends internationally,
Mm.
and maybe, for a lot of us, the big one is consuming media, movies, news, music, without needing subtitles or constantly hitting pause to look things up.
Right, getting rid of that barrier.
And what's really interesting is how the sources argue this whole transformation hinges on basically one single decision.
One choice.
Yeah, the conscious choice to learn English seriously, and importantly, to change how you approach it.
Okay.
So our mission in this deep dive is to pull out those core strategies, the ones that help you shift English from feeling like a chore,
Like homework.
exactly, into more of a lifestyle. We want to give you that shortcut to feeling confident, feeling informed, all stemming from that one initial commitment.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Because if the payoff is so big, better jobs, easier travel, all that, why do so many people, struggle to stick with it?
Yeah.
The source material points to a big mistake most learners make. What is it?
The big mistake, according to these sources, is treating English like it's still that rigid school subject,
Yeah.
compartmentalized.
Heh.
Like, the learner sits down, maybe opens a textbook, memorizes a list of 20 words, and then what?
Right, they close the book and...
Exactly.
Yeah.
That knowledge stays isolated. It doesn't connect to their actual life.
Yeah.
So a week later, those words are gone because the learning felt, forced,
Yeah.
artificial.
So the antidote to that, the core idea is don't just learn the language.
Live the language.
Live the language. Okay, that sounds great, but how do you actually do that? Especially at the beginning. Doesn't that feel kind of forced too, or just awkward?
It can feel awkward at first, absolutely.
Yeah.
The sources acknowledge that's a hurdle.
Okay.
The key is starting small, but being really consistent. Think about it.
Yeah.
If you only use English during your 1-hour class each week, your brain files it away under school stuff.
Right, that thing I do on Tuesdays.
Exactly. But if you use it every single day, multiple times, even for tiny moments, your brain starts to see it differently. It starts to categorize English as like a useful tool,
Hmm.
something functional.
So we're talking about those really small actions the source mentioned.
Tiny, but impactful. Yeah.
Like when you wake up, just saying a simple phrase in English.
Yes, something like, "Good morning. Today will be a beautiful day." Simple. Or when you're doing something totally routine, just narrate it quietly.
Like making coffee.
Yeah, instead of just thinking, "This coffee is hot," you actually say, maybe just whisper, "The coffee is hot, but I must drink it quickly."
Or looking out the window and describing something, even if no one's listening.
Precisely. Look, that bird is flying high in the blue sky. It sounds maybe a bit silly at first, but these little verbalizations are crucial.
Why? What do they do?
They shift English from being this thing you struggle to recall during a test, digging it out of your memory,
Yeah.
to something your brain starts processing more automatically, becomes part of your internal monologue almost. That's the start of the transformation, living it, not just studying it.
Okay, so living the language starts with these small daily integrations, but then you hit the mental blocks, right?
Ah, yes. The mindset. This is huge.
The source talked about those common limiting beliefs.
Oh, yeah. Things like, "I'm too old to learn this now," or "My accent is terrible, people will laugh."
Those feel really real, though, when you're in it. They can
Yeah.
totally stop you in your track. It's like a filter.
Psychologists call it the affective filter. Yeah. It's like this emotional barrier that literally prevents languid input from getting through, even if the teaching is good.
Wow. So how do you get past that? The source had an analogy, didn't it?
It did, a really simple but powerful one.
Mm-hmm.
Think about a baby learning to walk.
Okay.
They fall down constantly. They stumble, they look clumsy, maybe they cry a bit.
Yep, seen it many times.
But does anyone judge the baby?
Yeah.
Criticize them for falling? Of course not.
Yeah.
They just keep trying, falling, getting back up. And eventually, they walk. Then they run.
Right. And the connection there is mistakes are just part of the process, expected even.
Exactly. We're so conditioned, especially in school, to avoid mistakes, aim for that perfect score. But language learning just isn't like that. It's messy. Mistakes aren't failures. The source says they're proof you're actually trying, you're learning, you're moving forward.
That's a much healthier way to look at it.
And that realization leads straight to what the source calls the golden rule. It sounds a bit weird at first, but it's critical.
Okay, what's the golden rule?
If you want to speak good English, eventually,
Yeah.
you absolutely must speak bad English first.
Huh. Okay, say more about that.
It means you have to start now, today. Don't wait for some magical future moment when you think your grammar will be perfect or you'll know enough vocabulary.
Because that day never really comes.
Pretty much. If you wait for perfection, you'll likely never start the consistent, daily practice that actually builds fluency. You have to embrace the bad English stage.
Embrace the awkwardness.
Mm.
Okay, so that focus on starting now, doing it daily, that ties into the practical routine the source laid out, right?
Perfectly.
Yeah.
It leads right into that structured daily plan, which is great because learners often want something concrete. Just tell me what to do.
And this plan is specific. I noticed the time breakdown, it adds up to only, 37 minutes?
Yeah, 37 minutes total. And that precision isn't random. It's about efficiency and, crucially, sustainability.
Right, not trying to cram for 2 hours when you're tired.
Exactly.
Mm.
Research actually shows that these shorter, focused bursts, like 10 minutes, are often way better for forming habits and remembering things than one long, exhausting study session. It's about frequency, consistency, not just sheer volume.
Okay, let's walk through it then. The 5 steps of this 37-minute daily plan. Step 1, morning affirmation. Just 2 minutes.
It's just 2 minutes. You say one positive sentence in English. Could be about confidence, could be about your day. I am confident, or I will learn something new today. Simple as that.
What's the point of that?
It primes your brain, gets you thinking in English right from the start of the day, sets a positive intention.
Okay. Step 2, listening practice. 10 minutes.
Yep. Find a podcast, a song, maybe a short dialogue online. But here's the specific instruction from the source. Don't get bogged down trying to understand every single word.
Don't stop and look things up.
Yeah. Instead, focus intently on the rhythm of the speech, the intonation, the melody, the flow. You're training your ear to the sounds of natural English, not just collecting vocabulary yet.
Interesting. Okay, then step 3, speaking practice. Another 10 minutes.
Right. This is your time to actually produce the language. Talk to yourself, maybe in front of a mirror, maybe just pacing around your room.
What do you talk about?
Describe your plans for the day. Talk about what you had for breakfast, how you're feeling. Today I woke up late, but I had a nice breakfast. Anything, really.
The goal isn't perfect sentences.
Not at all. The goal is just getting comfortable with the act of speaking, making the sounds, forming thoughts in English, without that pressure of being judged.
Makes sense. Step 4 is shorter, writing practice, 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes, write a short paragraph about anything, food you like, something you dreamed, your mood right now.
And this helps how?
It moves vocabulary from just passive recognition, like when you're reading or listening to active production. You have to actually retrieve the words and structure the sentences yourself. Really helps cement things.
Okay. And the last one, step 5, reading practice, 10 minutes.
Yep. Grab an article online, a short story, even just scroll through some social media posts in English. And again, same advice as listening. Don't stop for every single unknown word.
Focus on the overall meaning.
Exactly. Try to get the gist, the main idea. Train your brain to handle a bit of ambiguity, to infer meaning from context. That's a huge skill in real-life communication.
37 minutes total. And the source promises. What if you stick with this?
The promise is that if you do this consistently every day for just 30 days, you will notice a real, tangible difference, enough to encourage you to keep going.
That sounds achievable. Now, you mentioned making it enjoyable. The source talked about stories, right? Using stories to learn.
Yes. This is a fantastic point. Using stories taps into how we're naturally wired to learn. Think about kids, they learn so much through stories.
So why does that work better than, say, just memorizing grammar rules?
It's about context and emotion. When you learn a word or a phrase within a narrative, you don't just learn its definition. You connect it to characters, to actions, to feelings, to consequences.
Yeah, so it sticks better in your memory?
Massively better. It gives the language meaning and makes it easier to recall later. It's that whole idea of comprehensible input, Again, stories make complex language feel accessible and less intimidating.
The source gave a specific example, didn't it? A story about a farmer.
It did. The classic fable of the farmer and the hen that laid golden eggs.
Right, I remember that one.
So the farmer gets one golden egg every day, becomes rich, but then he gets greedy.
Ah, highlighting the word greedy.
Exactly. He gets greedy, wants all the gold at once, so he kills the poor hen, only to find nothing inside.
And the lesson is,
Well, the explicit lesson is greed is not good. But the language learning tool here is the context. When you hear the word greedy, you now associate it with that farmer, his actions, the negative outcome. It's much richer than just seeing greedies wanting more than you need in a dictionary.
yeah, that makes total sense. It's integrated learning.
That ties back to maybe the biggest hurdle for lots of learners who actually understand English pretty well.
But they freeze up when they have to speak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They understand movies, they can read articles, but ask them a question and panic.
Why does that happen? The source mentioned fear, right?
Yeah, it usually boils down to fear. Fear of making grammar mistakes, fear of their accent sounding bad, fear of people judging them or just not understanding them.
I can definitely relate to that. I once tried ordering coffee in French and accidentally asked for sparkling water in the coffee instead of on the side. Mortifying at the time.
Uh-huh. But you probably remember the correct phrase now, right?
Well, absolutely never made that mistake again.
See, that awkward moment, that mistake, it actually helped you learn. And that brings us to the secret the source reveals about overcoming speaking fear.
Okay, what's the secret?
Get this. Nobody cares about your grammar.
Seriously, but
Yeah.
school drilled grammar into us.
I know, but think about it from the other side. When someone is trying to speak your native language and they make mistakes, do you judge their grammar?
No, not really. I mostly just try to understand what they mean. I appreciate the effort.
Precisely. Native speakers or fluent speakers generally only care about one thing. Can they understand the core of your message? Can they get the gist?
So the focus should be,
Communication, not perfection. That's the mantra. Did you get your point across even imperfectly?
yes.
Then you succeeded. Forget about perfect conjugation for now. Just communicate.
Okay, that's actually really liberating. Focus on the message.
Hugely liberating.
So we've got the mindset shift, the daily routine, the focus on communication. But we all know what happens. You start strong, you're motivated for a week, maybe two, and then life gets busy, enthusiasm dips.
Yes. Sustaining motivation. The long game.
How do you keep feeding that fire? The source used that analogy, didn't it? Motivation is like a fire.
It is. If you don't keep adding small bits of fuel, it just goes out.
So what's the fuel? What are the strategies for keeping it going?
The strategies are pretty practical, based on how our brains work. First, set small, achievable goals.
Not I'll be fluent in 6 months.
Definitely not. More like, I will do my 37-minute routine every day this week. That's it. 7 days. Small, concrete, doable.
And when you hit that goal,
You celebrate it. Acknowledge it. Give yourself a little mental pat on the back. That small sense of accomplishment releases dopamine, which makes you want to do it again.
okay, small goals, celebrate wins. What else?
Well, this one's crucial. Avoid comparing yourself to others, especially those super fluent people you see online or wherever.
Why is comparison so bad?
Because it's usually unhelpful and demotivating. You're comparing your behind-the-scenes struggle with someone else's highlight reel. The source basically says it just drains your mental energy and focus.
So who should you compare yourself to?
Only one person. You, yesterday. If yesterday you knew, say, 10 useful phrases, and today you learned 2 more and can use 12, that's progress. That's the only comparison that matters. Did I improve slightly from yesterday? Yes. Okay, keep going.
That feels much more manageable. Internal progress, not external perfection.
That's how you sustain the fire. Small, consistent effort, focused on your own progress.
Okay, so let's recap quickly. We've covered shifting from studying English to living it through small daily acts, that golden rule of embracing bad English to get to good English.
Yes, start now.
The very practical 37-minute daily routine, affirmation, listening, speaking, writing, reading,
Focusing on rhythm and gist, not perfection.
using stories for context, and the huge mental shift to focus on communication over perfect grammar.
Exactly. Get the message across.
And finally, sustaining it all by setting small goals and tracking your own personal progress.
That's the core of it. And connecting it all back to that initial idea, the sources say learning seriously is about opening a specific, valuable door for yourself.
A better job, a trip, a course.
Yeah, some concrete goal. We just laid out this 37-minute routine designed to help you walk through that door.
Which brings us to a final thought for you, the listener, to take away and maybe act on.
Right. Given that big reason why you want to learn that specific job interview you need to nail, that trip you're planning, that specific skill you want to acquire, think about this. What is that one high-value door you're aiming for right now?
Hmm.
And how can you take those 5 steps, the affirmation, listening, speaking, writing, reading, and tweak them just slightly, starting today, to focus specifically on the kind of English, the vocabulary, the situations you'll need for that specific goal. Don't just do the routine generally, tailor it. Apply this knowledge right away.